You are listening to listener-supported Elisha Space Podcast. In this space, we discuss mental health awareness issues and topics of faith. I'm your host, Elisha Lee, so let us get started.
Thank you and welcome to Elisha Space. I am so excited to be with you for another week on the show. And today we're going to be talking about, the idea of the fear and anxiety that goes around going back to work. Things are opening up more, and there is some calm with the immunizations that people are taking, but people are also very understandably concerned and upset to a degree and have high anxiety over the idea of going back to work. And I even know that some workplaces, they are having people come in a tiered way, in a staggered way to get people back into the offices. And it's very understandable for people to have those concerns. And I know a lot of people that I talk with in my practice that quite often they talk about, I'm not sure what it's going to look like when we have to wear masks. Will we have to wear masks? What would my physical space look like? Is there going to be an opportunity, or what would a social distancing look like? Am I going to be protected? Is my job going to be safe if I take time off because I get sick? And what kind of cleaning and sanitation is required in my workplace? Those are all understandable concerns that people have regarding coming back to the workplace. And it can be overwhelming and cause some anxiety for some people when they think about all the things that it comes to. And let's not minimize this, because there's a lot that people don't know still about this illness. And we're thankful that so much has been learned so quickly so far. But even with that in mind, it's still a concerning thing. So one thing I would suggest that you do, I think is extremely important, is communication. Communication is so important. Talk with your employer, talk with your manager, and let them know what your concerns are. Let them know if it's going to be a good space, or let them know if you have someone in your household who's highly would be susceptible, if they fall into one of those brackets, if you have someone that may have a pre-existing condition, if you have someone who is elderly living in your home, let them know that so that you can see if there are other options that you can take, or is there another role within the company that you can do so that you wouldn't have to go back and forth. That's the first thing I would suggest. The next thing I would do is recognize that it is a real concern. We're in the middle of a pandemic. They're saying that this may not resolve for another year or two, and it is already 2021. So we want to make sure just to recognize that that's there, and just take a deep breath and recognize that it is a real thing and that it is a valid concern that you have. The next thing I would say is think about how you react to anxiety. Some people have physical symptoms that come up as a result of anxiety. Do you get headaches? Do your headaches turn into migraines? Do you get an upset stomach? Exercises and planning ahead will help you. So if you know that you are one who has physical symptoms that comes along with that, then you want to do things to balance things out for yourself. And you want to do things to balance things out for yourself. Do the deep breathing. Do the meditation. Do what you know to do in order to manage what it is you are dealing with. And if you are on medication, by all means, do take the medication, and continue what is prescribed by the doctor. I would also say that anxiety tends to go down when you plan for what you can control. Many times, anxiety and worry comes about things that we cannot control. So instead of focusing on what you can't control, focus on what you can control. You know, make sure you bring your sanitizer. Make sure you bring your PPE, your gloves, your wipes. I mean, I'm sure the company would provide those things. I would hope the company would provide those things. But if it helps you feel like you're in control, maybe you want something with aloe in it or something that has some type of a natural thing for you. That's something that you can control. And then anticipate future scenarios to assist you with how you're going to respond or react to that situation. You want to consider what it's going to be like for you on your commute to work, how you're going to, interact with your coworkers, how you're going to put things around in your workspace, and what it's going to look like for you. You'll maybe even consider what you're going to eat. And as you focus on what you can control, you'll find that anxiety will decrease when you focus on what you can control. And then I would also mention to speak up. If you see something that makes you feel unsafe, you need to speak up and let someone know, even if it's just sending a quick email or a form to someone, in the maintenance department. Let someone know if you see something that makes you feel unsafe, because you have every right to do that. And as you know, I am a Christian counselor. So I would also say the prayer Psalms 91. Now, I'm going to read Psalms 91 to you from the Passion Translation, because it is worded so beautifully. And then I'm going to share with you one of the Lord's names. And so Psalms 91 says, "When you abide under the shadow of Shaddai, you are hidden in the strength of God Most High. He's the hope that holds me and the stronghold to shelter me, the only God for me and my great confidence. He will rescue you from every hidden trap of the enemy, and he will protect you from false accusation and any deadly curse. His massive arms are wrapped around you, protecting you. You will run under his covering of majesty and hide. His arms of faithfulness are a shield keeping you from harm. You will never worry about an attack of demonic forces at night, nor have to fear a spirit of darkness coming against you. Don't fear a thing, whether by night or by day. Demonic danger will not trouble you, nor will the powers of evil be launched against you. Even in time of disaster, with thousands and thousands being killed, you will remain unscathed and unharmed. You will be a spectator as the wicked perish in judgment, for they will be paid back for what they have done. When we live our eyes within the shadow of the Most High God, our secret hiding place, we will always be shielded from harm. How then could evil prevail against us or disease infect us? God sends angels with special orders to protect you wherever you go, defending you from all harm. If you walk into a trap, they'll be there for you and keep you from stumbling. You'll even walk unharmed among the fiercest powers of darkness, trampling every one of them beneath your feet. For here is what the Lord has spoken to me. Because you loved me, delighted in me, and have been loyal to my name, I will greatly protect you. I will answer your cry for help every time you pray, and you will feel my presence in your time of trouble. I will deliver you and bring you honor. I will satisfy you with a full life and with all that I do for you will enjoy the fullness of my salvation. So keep that in mind that psalm in mind, because it is a psalm of protection, and you can pray that over yourself and your family members. Maybe they're going out and about whenever. I know of people that even pray this over their kids when they join the military and things of that nature, that it's a powerful, powerful psalms. And I love the way the Passion Translation shares this information. I love how they word things. And I just want to go over that word El Shaddai. El Shaddai actually, when it's broken up, it means peace. So it means God of our peace. And from the Hebrew root word, it's has expressive meanings. So it can mean God of the mountain, God, the destroyer of enemies. I love that one. God, the self-sufficient one. God, the nurturer of babies, or God, the Almighty. So think about who God is as you are going out into these places, and know that He is for you and He is all around you and He is protecting you wherever you go. I have a client. I want to close this by sharing a story. I have a client that I work with, and she works in the hospital, and she doesn't deal directly with COVID patients, but there's interaction with patients that are susceptible. And she, she takes these steps. She has experiences with high anxiety, and she makes sure to pray Psalms 91. And God has kept her during this time. God has protected her during this time. That's not taking away from others who've had other situations, but I'm just sharing her story, okay? So I encourage all of you to walk in freedom, walk in hope, and know that our God will be with you and that He will keep you no matter what you are facing. So be free and walk in the freedom He's called you to walk in. Thank you for listening to Elisha Space. And next week, you will have a new episode. And that episode, we will be discussing, it'll be with Chaplain Deb Forstner. I'm very excited to be speaking with her. She has written a devotional, and we are going to be discussing the different varying degrees of sadness and how it can take you to a place of joy. So walk in the freedom that God has called you to walk in. I look forward to speaking with you next time on Elisha's Space.
Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to Elisha's Space. If you like what you're hearing, I encourage you to subscribe to the show so you can hear all the other great upcoming episodes that are coming in the next few weeks. Elisha's Space is listener supported. If you would like to support Elisha's Space, you can do so at https://anchor.fm/Elisha Space/support. We look forward to connecting with you again on Elisha's Space.